Welcome back everybody. Now a few episodes ago we showcased the San Hima Jervis Pro rooftop tent. I really loved it, and I said wouldn't it be great if San Hima had a range of 270-degree awnings to complement their rooftop tent and camping products. Well, little did I know they had a range on the way, so they've sent me up a 270-degree awning to test out. They actually sent me two because I've got this, which is a standard one, and a bigger version as well. So in this episode, come along as we show you what they're all about. So firstly, let's just go through the range of awnings. What you see here is the standard 270 degree. They also have a longer version, which I also have, and I'll show you at the end of this video. And that will actually go on to our future camper trailer project, which I'm really excited about. But they also offer a 180 degree awning as well. So that just sits on the side like this, and it opens out to provide really good coverage down the side of your ute if you're mounting it over the cab, onto crossbars or a roof platform or something like that, or even a wagon, and you've got coverage up over the bonnet, right all the way through to the rear, and most importantly, in front of the doors where they're opening up. So they're the three combinations that they offer, and they should suit pretty much every application that you want. The standard 270 here weighs 21 kilos. The 180 is a little bit lighter, being 20.7 kilos. And then if you go to the longer full length 270 degree awning, that comes in at 27 kilos. So there's a little bit of weight in these, but basically all these types of awnings have a similar weight range, and you just need to allow for that when you're fixing them onto the side of your vehicle. Now what you get with the kit is a nice little carry bag to put all your accessories in. You get a USB cable, and that's important because these awnings also come with an integrated light, which is fantastic. They provide everything to peg it down, including the tent pegs, the ropes, and you also get this tie down here that actually fixes onto your side of your vehicle when you open the awning up. And we'll show you that as part of setting the awning up. The other thing that does come with the kit are these real heavy duty multi-purpose brackets. So the idea is they've got a number of different holes and slots to go onto a roof platform or crossbars, and then you can mount them either this way so your awning sits up higher, or flip it down this way so your awning sits down lower. Now this might come in handy if you've got a rooftop tent and you want the awning to sit down a little bit lower so it can open up or something like that. I think most people would mount it up this way so that you've got the clearance so that you can open your doors underneath the awning itself. But these are pretty heavy duty, really nicely finished brackets that come standard with the kit. Now in our instance, because we've got a side opening rooftop tent, I've had to do a little bit of work to get it all working together. I'm actually going to make a second video that will follow on from this about all the considerations if you're trying to mount a larger 270 degree awning with a side opening rooftop tent. I'm trying to keep it fairly trim, taut and terrific, so I won't go into that detail quite so much. But these brackets are really good, and obviously they also provide all the mounting hardware so that you can mount it onto your brackets and onto your vehicle. Now a little tip and trick I'll point out is that when you're mounting the awning brackets with these 270 and 180 degree awnings, it's pretty important to have a bracket as close to that hinge point as you possibly can. Now while the instructions state that you can have them located a fair way back, it just provides a lot of additional support in the area where that hinge point is, and it stops any of the backing plates or any deflection that might occur from the loads of the freestanding awning cantilevering out. So anyway, that's just my tip and trick for the day. Let's go out and check out this standard 270 degree awning, then we'll swap it over to the longer one and show you what they're all about. Now the awning comes with a 580 GSM PVC cover. It's nice, heavy duty and durable, and it's got these real heavy duty zippers that run around it. The fabric of the awning inside is a 600D Oxford fabric. It's got a water resistant rating and it's also got a UV rating of 50 plus. So it provides a lot of protection whether you're out in the sun, the rain or anything like that, enjoying these beautiful countryside of ours. So let's get this set up and I'll show you how quick and easy it is to do. And I'm sure a lot of you have actually seen how these go up, and that's the beauty of these awnings. You simply unzip the cover up to both sides. You flip it over on top of itself, just like so, and you'll see that there's 3 fastening straps. You simply undo the Velcro strips, pull them through, and my tip and trick, so they're not laying on top of the awning itself, is to flop them down the back of the cover. Exactly how you do with the cover, and that has them out of the way. The beauty here is when you go to pack it away, they're not all caught up in behind, but putting them over the back keeps it all nice and tidy. So you undo the other 2 and just let it all hang down like so. And then before you pull it all the way around, you want to get this strap and fix it onto something on the opposite side of the vehicle. When you've got a tub rack, it's quite easy. You just wrap it through a bit of the tub rack. If you've got a roof platform, it's the same thing with that. If you've got roof racks or something like that on a wagon, you can do the same. And you just want to make sure that you've got enough length to tie it back on. Once you've set it up a few times, you work out what hole to run it through or what thing to fix it onto. But I find it's quite easy. You just feed it through whatever you're doing, loop it through like so, so it holds on, and then you can just tie it up once you bring it back around. And now it's just a case of pulling the awning out, just like this. You run it around to the rear of the vehicle. Then you just get your strap, clip it in. Gently tether it up, you don't want it too tight, and you're set up and ready to roll. Now, all of the San Hima 270-degree awnings are made to go onto the passenger side of the vehicle, and with the standard 270-degree awning, the hinge point is on the rear, which makes it perfectly for mounting onto the back of a dual cab ute, a wagon or anything like that. So you'll notice you've got the beams that come out to form the 270-degree freestanding component of the awning, and then up in each channel you actually have legs that drop down. If I was camping somewhere, I would probably put the legs down just for that extra bit of support. If it was a little bit breezy or some winds were predicted, or particularly if I was camping overnight, I would peg these down so that there's no chance of the awning through the middle of the night just blowing up and causing all sorts of damage because it's just left out in the open. The loads that you get from underneath this with the wind uplift, it makes sense to actually put the legs down and peg at it if you're staying for a period of time or you're going to leave the vehicle unattended. But the legs are really good, they're easy to pull down, and you simply just undo the things, slide them out, adjust them to the ground surface that you're on. They've got little pegs on the end of them so you can peg them down to the ground, and little loops on the end of the poles so you can actually peg the legs themselves into the ground if you don't necessarily want to put guy ropes down. But remember, they provide guy ropes as part of the kit, so you're pretty much covered in any different situation that you find yourself in. Now, I mentioned the kit comes with a USB cable because it has a built-in light. Now, as opposed to a lot of awnings where they run the lights out on the beams that cantilever out to form the awning structure itself, San Hima are actually fitted up into this extrusion, and you can slide it along, which I think is actually a really handy feature, because if you set up a bit of a table here, you've got a good source of light while you're cooking away. It's actually in a really good spot where it's not so blinding and over you everywhere. Now, the other advantage is that when you have multiple lights, you have all these cables hanging down that you got to plug into a power supply. With this, it's really, really easy because you simply plug one end into the light itself, and then this other end you can either plug into your vehicle, into the tray of your ute if you've got an adapter for your DC style port. So just get a cigarette lighter with a few USB outlets, you can plug that in, or into a little portable power bank that you can sit up under your rooftop tent or something like that in the tray. Simply plug it in. In my case, I forgot mine, so I'm using my drone battery pack. It's pretty handy to have. I was in a little bit of trouble there, but that will work pretty well. But to show the operation, you simply click the little button. You've got your white light, you've got your orange light, which is really important, and then you've got your warm light. So it's a tricolour light, so it will suit a multiple of different applications. And to me, this works really, really well. It's nice, simple, you've only got one cord hanging out, and it does the job perfectly fine. Particularly if you're out and about and you've got some other work lights or something like that, this is all you really need. So that's a real handy function that some of the cheaper awnings don't actually have. But me personally, I just use the orange light, maybe the warm light, because that just creates that nice atmosphere around the campsite and you're not attracting all those insects and mozzies in to where you're going to be sleeping. Especially if you've got a few swags down on the ground, you don't want them getting inside. And with the rooftop tent up, it works really, really well. But I know you're thinking, we need a little bit more shade. So check this out. You have this, which is the 270L version. So this is the extra size 270 version that has the extra wing that comes out on the front. And in our case, fixes down to the bull bar so we can tension it all down, just the same as what we did on the back. It all folds out pretty much the same. You simply undo the 3 tether straps, flick them over the top like what we did at the start. You open up the back section first, as per the standard 270 awning, fix it into place and tether it down. And then you come back around, you've got this extra wing that you fold out on the front section of the awning. This is a really, really good solution that will eventually go onto our camper trailer project. So we'll have this rooftop tent, pretty much the rack, this awning, and it means, particularly over in this section here, we'll be able to pull out our outdoor kitchen and not have to worry about the elements with that extra bit of the awning that goes forward, in that case, to the front of the drawbar. So up under here, there is a ton of space. You've got the same beam style supports that come out, and in this scenario, it is set up as a freestanding awning, and I can just walk for miles before I get back out on the other side. I'm just coming out on the other side of the awning now, and that is how much extra room you get under this. I think it's around about 11.5 square meters, which is a very, very big space. And that extra wing does make a really big difference in my opinion. It provides that extra space that you might want to put a swag under, to set up some tables and some chairs so you can eat outside if the weather's a little bit drizzly like today. And I think it will be a really good solution for those that are out and about and hunting around for a good quality but affordable 270-degree awning that is freestanding. Of course, you can drop the poles down, which I would recommend, especially with such a large awning to support the cantilever that's coming out. But if you want, you can just leave them up. Again, if you're stopping quickly just to have a spot of lunch, you're down by a creek bed with all the stones, you've sort of driven in there, you can sit in the water, get plenty of shade and really enjoy your day out. The actual cassette is just slightly longer. There's not that much in it, but obviously you do have this hinge point up here, which is where you need to support it with a bracket to make sure that it doesn't droop down, distort and deflect. And I think that's the critical thing. So that's where you need something that's 2100 long that you can fix either end, because you've got a hinge point at either end to make sure that it's all nice and stable when you use it in the freestanding function. But the light, just like the normal 270-degree awning, is quite versatile and you can move it around, change the colorways because there's a tri-color, so you've got that white light, the orange and the warm, but being able to move it around, it's kind of cool. So now let's put some chairs out, bring the family in, and we'll do some cool shots just to show you how much space is under this awning. So there you go, there's a freestanding range of San Hima awnings available through VicOffroad. I thank Stanley and the crew there a lot for sending these 2 awnings over for us to try out and to work out what works best on the back of the Ranger, as well as that camper trailer we've got coming down the line as well. But I'm going to pack all this away because, as you can see, the skies are getting darker and the rains are coming. So I thank you all for watching, and as I always say, get out there, stay safe, have fun, and we'll catch you next time.